Most people think of death when they hear the word grief, but we want to take a look at grief from a different angle. That is, a loss that's not related to death, such as a job loss or friendship loss. Blanca Cobb joins us to talk about different forms of grief. So Blanca, is there a difference between grieving the loss of a loved one and grieving the loss of, say, maybe a job or a friendship?
That's a great question. The intensity of the emotions can be different depending on how strongly you feel, either about the job loss or the loved one, but the process of grief is the same. So there are 5 stages. You have denial, bargaining, anger, depression, and acceptance. But keep this in mind, not everybody goes through all 5 stages, nor do they go in the same order. Sometimes people can skip around in those stages.
How would you suggest that we deal with this type of loss?
Great question. You want to give yourself some leniency. You really want to feel those emotions. You want to get that angst out. You want to be able to process it. And then it's really important to take care of yourself during this time, because when you're not feeling good or you're suffering a job loss or friendship loss, you can get stuck in this negative thinking where you're not going to be motivated, where you're not going to want to do anything. And that's not going to help you move forward. And at some point when you're starting to feel a little better, you want to start thinking about next steps, making peace with the friendship that's no longer there, or in the example of a job loss, what you should do to move forward and find a new job.
So what is something that could prevent someone from completely getting over a loss like this?
Ruminating over the loss. And what I mean by ruminating is thinking about that loss constantly over and over. And when you think about that negativity, you kind of get stuck. And it's very hard to figure out where to go. In these types of situations, give yourself a time limit. Okay, I'm going to think about this for 10 minutes of what I lost and how difficult it's going to be to move on. Whatever the situation is, whatever those thoughts are. And then at 10 minutes, distract yourself, do something different, whether it's listen to music, take a walk, talk to a friend. And in these times, as difficult as it is and as painful as it can be, you want to think of the silver lining. What can you learn from that experience moving forward?
Blanca, as always, some great advice. Thank you very much. If you would like to watch this conversation again, we're going to be posting it on our website after the 4 to 5 today. I think it's so important that we're able to find that silver lining in everything, because oftentimes it can be difficult to get out of that rut. She called it ruminating. And so I think it's important to look ahead and see, what's coming down the road that will help change this or turn this around or maybe make it even better.
Absolutely. Easier said than done, but it's awesome to just keep that positivity. During the pandemic, when we think of a loss, think of all the people who lost their businesses. Mom and pop shops has been in the family for like 50 years. So when you have a lot of time and effort that's put into something, it does feel like a death. And it doesn't happen overnight, but like you said, keep thinking about that silver lining, keep thinking about the future, and that will help with the process.